Cam'ron leaving Sirius XM just got done with the Max B interview. Max B had the NY streets flooded. But Jimmy acting like he can't see the water rising.
Me and these niggas go back like 40 years.
When you hear that you definitely didn't come home, what's the energy? Because I'm going to keep it 100. Yo, Killer, I got to talk to the governor in Jersey.
Yeah,
Yo, once I speak to the mayor and these brothers we got coming up.
It was, like I said, you just got to switch the mindset.
Max B coming home. Where we at with that? Are you able to get past that?
No.
Max B is finally out of prison, and Jim Jones couldn't even pretend to hide how bitter he is. The man actually got online talking about how celebrating dudes coming home is dumb and calling Max B a failure, which is funny because wasn't Jim Jones celebrating when Mel Murda got out of prison?
They caught her up now looking shit, now we gotta stay down. Look at that. Half these niggas broke, they can't.
But here's where it gets even messier. Max B recently sat down for an interview with Cam'ron and Mase, and Cam claimed that Jim is still scared of Max B after all these years. So let's break down what really happened, why Jimmy is pressed, and why Max B's return is a problem for him on every level.
I want you to pass it at some point.
You want me to crash out?
I definitely don't want you to crash out because I don't want to crash out.
Max B, aka Max Bigavelli, is one of those artists where the more you peel back the layers, the more you realize how much he shaped an entire era of New York rap without ever getting the mainstream spotlight he deserved.
There was a bitch, her name was Cindy or Mindy. I wasn't sure cause I was too tipsy off the rim, playing big in the bank. Me cream, my dick was a buck, I was the ATM machine. Had the sparkle all in my ear. Nibble on the little nipples and blowing on the toes.
Max B's real name is Charlie Wingate, born and raised in Harlem, and he came up in the early to mid 2000s as part of Jim Jones's Bird Gang. But here's the thing, Max wasn't just another rapper in the crew. He had this melodic, loose, sing rap style that nobody else was doing at the time. That whole wavy, vibey, half-sung New York style that became popular later with artists like A$AP Rocky. Max was doing it long before it was cool.
She said, why you do that? I said, I'm sorry, baby. That really not sorry, baby. Why you do that?
Max dropped a ton of mixtapes, $1 Million Baby, the Public Domain series, Coke Wave with French Montana, and all of them became cult classics. And even when he wasn't mainstream, he was the rapper other rappers studied.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, Max B really inspired my whole rapping career too. I feel like not rapping career, but you see the way I'm making melodies.
Yeah.
He was a big part of that because before I started rapping, I was singing Max B all the time.
But then in 2006, at the peak of his momentum, Max got caught up in a robbery case that led to a Here's what went down. On September 22nd, 2006, Max B's ex-girlfriend, Gina Conway, told him about this dude she had just met, Alan J. Plowden, and how he was walking around with real money. And instead of minding his damn business, Max decides this would be his next lick. He sent his stepbrother, Kelvin Leardom, to go handle the robbery and told Gina to tag along. They rolled up to Plowden's room at a Holiday Inn in Fort Lee. Gina knocked, and another woman, Giselle Nieves, opened the door. Giselle told them Plowden was sleeping, but then Kelvin pulled out the gun and held Giselle at gunpoint while Gina duct taped her. They started tearing the room apart looking for the bag, but couldn't find anything. So they woke up Plowden, duct taped him too, and grilled him about the cash. He claimed there was nothing in the room. So Kelvin forced him to call his partner, David Taylor, to bring the money over. But when Taylor walked in, he immediately started tussling with Kelvin. The gun went off and Taylor was fatally shot. Gina then grabbed Giselle's purse and $800 out of Taylor's pockets while Kelvin snatched his watch. And this is what they risked life sentences for, y'all. Gas money and accessories. After they left, Plowden told the hotel what happened, and when cops stormed the room, he was literally mid-shuffle with $30K he was trying to hide, so he got slapped with his own charges. A few days later, Gina was picked up and immediately told police everything about Max, Kelvin, the plan, all of it. Max and Kelvin were then arrested and charged, and Max was held on a $2 million bail. By 2009, Gina pleaded out on manslaughter and armed robbery and agreed to testify, facing up to 18 years. Fast forward to May 2009, and Max and Kelvin's trial started. On June 9th, 2009, they were both convicted of 9 out of 11 charges, including felony murder. Max got 75 years in prison, while Kelvin received a life sentence plus 35 years. The next day, Max's ex, Gina, was sentenced to 15 years. Max later appealed his sentence, but in August 2012, his appeal was officially rejected, and he was set to serve his 75-year sentence. But then in 2016, the case took another turn, and Max B's conviction was thrown out after it was revealed that his original lawyer had a conflict of interest. His sentence was reduced to 20 years after he pleaded guilty to aggravated manslaughter. order. Jump to November 9, and Max was released from prison after nearly 16 years behind bars.
Let his kids go. Where's daughter?
Let's not get close to the gate, guys. They're gonna tell us to move.
Let's see it, nigga.
Max was welcomed home by friends and family, including his longtime collaborator French Montana. French shared a video of him greeting Max outside prison and wrote in the caption, "Can't make this up. My brother really came home on my B-Day. Hamdulillah. No more free you." Now let's get into this messy part. The beef between Max B and Jim Jones. When Max first linked up with Bird Gang and Dipset, he was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. He wrote hooks, helped craft verses, and some people even say he had a hand in big tracks like We Fly High. But here's the problem. According to Max, he never got proper credit or fair pay for any of it. Max claimed he was basically being used. He'd put in the work, make these hits, and Jim would cash in while Max got next to nothing. We're talking shows where Jones was making big money and Max was paid a couple $100s.
I would never work for that cornball ass nigga again. Me? I'm a boss. I'm not with that. It's never nothing no more. Like, I look like a boss, I feel like a boss, I taste like a boss. Max Bigger Val. Out of here, man. So Jim Jones, compare the names. Look, Max Bigger Val, Jim Jones. The that don't even add up. That nigga not on my level, man.
But it wasn't just about the money. It was respect. Max claimed that Jim didn't treat him like an equal, even though he was doing a ton of the creative work behind the scenes. That disrespect built up over time, and eventually Max split from Bird Gang. After that, he and French Montana started putting out music that openly challenged Jim Jones and showed the world who really made those hits. But Jim claimed it was never his intention to mess with Max B's money, and he was just doing as he was taught by his mentors. But what Jim failed to mention there is that he didn't give Max back his publishing. Max sued him for it, and the court ordered Jim to give it back. And Cam'ron has spoken about this too, and he's always sided with Max. He said that Jim has a history of trying to control people and take credit for what they've done. Cam actually had plans to sign Max, but he didn't see the vision before Jim snatched him up.
Like, for instance, I'm gonna keep it tall. That's kind of how I missed out on Max B. I'm just being straight up honest. And Jim ended up signing him because Jim seen the vision, but because Jim had an outside vision of Max. I grew up with Max. Charlie Rambo, play all day, joking all the time. So when he came to me and said he's gonna start rapping, I was like, yo, Charlie, stop playing. His exact words was killer. They were like, no, let's get this shit clicking like Dorothy's heels.
Max B, he wasn't Max B, his name was Charlie Rambo. He get out of jail, he come up to me. This is word for word. So I'm like, Charlie, what up? When you guys say, yo, Flea, I just came home. I say, y'all say you always just come. He say, yo, Flea, you know how to rap now. Let's get this clicking like Dorothy's heels.
But Max and Cam are still cool, and as soon as Max was out, he sat down for an interview with Cam'ron and Mase. But there was no mention of Jim at all. They just talked about their Harlem days, Max's experience in prison, and his plans for the future.
From a few things that I'm saying, but you don't know the slander, like when you got locked up, you don't know the slander that I get. Cam, how the you let it go this way? From the same, like, what the how to go, da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo, I ain't see the yo, I ain't see this nigga be playing niggas in and out of jail all the time, man. I ain't see this shit was gonna happen. Niggas be ready to take my head off about this shit.
Because you ain't a prophet.
Yeah.
They want you to be about prophet.
Yeah, listen, man. And I listen, I'm first tell you, I missed out and I didn't see it because you was too much of my nigga and I didn't see the vision. And sometimes what it is, not even talking about you, because you turned out to be something else.
You still got me in though.
Oh no,
you did everything in your you was like, look, go see bro.
Yeah, but listen, we boomerang, we here now. We ain't even gonna get into it.
I'm just saying, like that's how
right.
Even you acknowledge like still like damn, I got Jaja, I got this nigga. I got Rel, I got, you know what I'm saying? You said, nah, boom.
And while Max isn't focused on Jim right now, it looks like Jim is still bothered. When Mano asked him in a recent interview if he could let the past be past, Jim flat out said no, but he didn't want to elaborate further. And you could tell that question struck a nerve.
Max B coming home. Where we at with that? Are you able to get past that?
No. Now we can pass now. We can get past that now. You want to get past it, or you want to dive more into it? Or you want me to tweak it?
I want you to pass it at some point.
You want me to crash out?
I definitely don't want you to crash out because I don't want to crash out. Now, what I want for myself, I want for my brother.
I appreciate it.
You see what I'm saying? Because there's too much money out here, there's too much life out here, and I like to do the things that I like to do. Ain't nothing feel better than living right now.
You right.
And now you got people in the comments saying things like, Jim still has PTSD about Max running around World Star back in the day, dissing him 24/7, and even the hotel incident. But someone else had a different perspective and wrote, Jim is saying this because Max B is not in front of him. If they saw each other, there is no way that they could not heal and move forward as brothers. The love is still there. Jim is hurt. Jim feels hurt by Cam too. Jim has to realize he hurt Max B too. That is why he responded that way. I think they can move forward. Well, what's your take on this? Can they really move forward? Or is there just too much baggage for things to go back to how they were before Max got locked up? And don't miss this next story.